This is The Scoop for Thursday.
I'm Lisa Marzilli with the WMNF News headlines. A bill bringing more transparency to university presidential searches passed overwhelmingly in the Florida House yesterday. WMNF's Chris Young reports the bill's sponsor says it's meant to bring more transparency to a search process she says creates distrust.
House Bill 1321 would remove the public records exemption for applicants to be president of Florida's public colleges and universities. Bill's sponsor, Republican Representative Michelle Salzman, argues that it brings the presidential selection process back into the sunshine.
They put the entire process in the shade, and it created a huge level of distrust amongst Floridians across the state.
Currently, the law allows presidential searches to be mostly confidential, but it's drawn controversy. For example, former University of Florida President Ben Sasse was announced as the only finalist for the role and later investigated for unnecessary spending. The bill passed 104-8 in the House. The Senate version is still going through subcommittees. Chris Young, WMNF News.
In a post on X, Governor Ron DeSantis spoke out against the bill, calling it the Make Universities Woke Again Act. A bill in the Florida legislature would require the Department of Environmental Protection to evaluate how oil and gas drilling blowouts or spills could impact coastal industries. WMNF's Faith Montalvo reports how the bill could protect these communities.
Senate Bill 1300 advanced through the Senate Committee on Rules on Wednesday morning. It would prohibit drilling on or near most freshwater bodies and within 1 mile of the coastline and wildlife parks or reserves. TJ Saunders is a charter fishing captain in Apalachicola who testified to the committee. He says his business relies on tourism.
In the event of an oil spill, of industrial pollution in the Apalachicola River Basin, I will be faced with a loss of business. The guides that I represent will lose business.
The bill received public support during the session, but many were still concerned that the Senate and House versions of the bill do not match. Adrienne Johnson is the executive director of the Florida Shellfish Aquaculture Association. She says the bill may not fully protect coastal communities as it is currently written.
So we ask that ultimately whatever bill gets passed does include the language to kill the drill and protect the folks whose livelihoods and depend on the water and a way of life all of us as Floridians enjoy.
The bill also outlines a balancing test the Department of Environmental Protection would use as it considers drilling permits. Faith Montalvo, WMNF News.
Florida is one step closer to becoming the second state in the country to ban fluoride from public drinking water. The GOP-controlled state Senate approved a wide-ranging agricultural bill yesterday that includes a provision ceasing fluoridation by cities and counties. The vote was 27-9. Sponsored by Republican Senator Keith Trunow, the bill now goes to the Florida House, where similar legislation has received favorable votes in committee. If approved, it would then head to Governor Ron DeSantis, who is widely expected to sign the prohibition into law. Democrat Tina Polsky responded, "This would honestly be a joke if it didn't have dangerous consequences." In a unanimous vote, the Florida House passed a bill that would bar golf courses, hotels, and other amenities from being built on state park land. The vote was 115-0, and an overwhelming response to a widely condemned plan pursued last year by the DeSantis administration. Democratic Representative Robin Bartleman says House lawmakers listened to the public.
I think we were all shocked to hear what they were going to do to our precious state parks. And this is in direct response to that plan and in direct response to what our constituents wanted us to do.
Even with yesterday's vote, the bill's success is not guaranteed because the Senate version is different from the House bill. The Tampa Bay Times reports the two chambers must agree on identical language before a bill gets sent to the governor. On Tuesday, a Senate Environment Committee unanimously approved its version of the Parks bill. It still needs to clear one more committee before heading to the full Senate for a vote. Meanwhile, environmentalists are warning that the Senate version is not as strong as its House companion. It's going to be sunny and dry with highs in the mid-80s today. Lows tonight will be in the mid-60s. Sunny and warmer on Friday with a high of 89. I'm Lisa Marzilli with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.